Because so you were 3 or 4 years old when you're like, this does not resonate with me. So at some
Yes.
point, you decided to take another path and start studying the other areas that you were studying, and then at some point, you decided to go into the mystery school. So that's kind of a big jump.
Mhm.
So, like, what was that story like? What led you to that path in particular? Because not a lot of people have gone to the mystery schools or even know what they are. So it's kind of unique.
Well, the big jump is actually not such a big jump because it covers big years,
Mm-hmm.
a few decades easily.
Hmm.
So I stumbled around before I even picked up The Road Less Traveled, which was the first spiritual book I ever read. I feel I was probably 30 years old before I ever read that.
Wow.
So between 3, 4 years old and 30, it was just a hodgepodge of trying things that had nothing to do with spirituality. In a very odd sort of way, I did everything else, and all that was left was spirituality. So that's how I got here.
They're like, I'm not spiritual, I'm not doing this, and then it's
That was
like,
the last thing.
it's like, okay, nothing else is working, maybe I'll give this a shot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so what was the first thing? So once you tried everything else, like, okay, nothing is working. So which path did you go to first?
It was.
Not
I
the
was.
spiritual path.
Oh, well, what prompted me into the spiritual path was I was so frustrated with my life and lack of relationships, even though I was making great money, was that I went to a psychologist.
And you were how old?
I was 30 something.
30 something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to a psychologist, and she talked to me just a couple of times. She quickly said, you're intelligent, you understand what I'm talking about. How about you try this? And she suggested I go to a metaphysical church in Los Angeles called Agape,
Mm-hmm.
which is really an extraordinary place. So that was my first step, real step into spirituality, I felt.
What kind of things were they teaching or talking about in
Well,
the metaphysical church?
Their byline or slogan is ancient wisdom, new thought.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so the new thought is really just ancient wisdom
Right.
put in modern English.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very mixed culturally, mixed racially. It was everybody, and it was just very open and loving. And to be honest, I couldn't sit in there 10 minutes the first time I went.
Why? What was,
Because
what was uncomfortable?
My vibration was so different than what they were doing that I had to work my way into it over months.
But you didn't give up.
Oh, no.
So
no.
there was something there that was intriguing you.
Yes, I was attracted to it, and yet, I could sense intuitively that it was probably great for me or a good path, but I had to adjust my vibration.
Mm.
And that took some time.
Yeah, it's not an overnight thing. A lot of people are so used to that quick fix pill, just tell me what I need to do and I'm going to be there. And it's not. Like you said, it was
Yeah.
27, 30 years of trying different things. And then it even took a while once you found the thing that you thought was the thing.
Yes.
And then that took a long time
Yes, so
to
I
sink
went
your
to
teeth into.
I went to Agape for years and took some classes, and that really set me up to meet my next level of spirituality, which was a particular woman who taught a class at that church, and that's the religious science is the basis of the information for Agape. And she introduced me to a woman who became my master teacher for about 12 years. And sent me off on traveling trips to Egypt in groups and doing work all over the world, but in particular ancient cultures, because a lot of these ancient cultures built their civilizations and pyramids on particular spots of energy for that specific reason, because that would hook them up more easily than any other place. And so through her, I really got on a deep and intense spiritual path, which was a mystery school. That was the Egyptian mystery school. And there's probably a lot of Egyptian mystery schools by name, but that was my particular one.
So is that the one of all of the places that you went to? Which one resonated with you the best? Or was it equal?
Well, my favorite in Egypt is Luxor.
Luxor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
there
that
are a lot of
Luxor?
Mhm.
Luxor.
Okay.
And that was just for the energy there, the energies that I felt there, and the etheric beings that I felt were around me or communicating with me there.
Now explain that, because I know there's a lot of eyebrows that just went up when
Etheric
they're
beings.
beings
Yeah.
communicating. What is he talking
Yeah, we're
about?
taking it to another level right now.
Yeah, what just happened here?
Okay, when I was a very young child, back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would see beings all the time who were not my brothers and sisters or parents.
Like apparitions? Like
Yeah, you can
ghosts,
call them
like
angels, you can
physical?
call them etheric beings, you can call them anything you want. But I would have full-on conversations with them. And
They're just not in bodily form, correct?
that's right, not in bodily form. And then, you know, I had older brothers, so after I got busted for having a full-on conversation with one, and, you know, teased a lot and stuff, I shut it all down.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until, you know, many decades later that started opening back up for me. And so etheric beings, I don't know, I can't tell you they're angels or space beings or anything. I just know that they have been and it feels like they've been on my side, helping me, guiding me through my entire life, really.
Now, do you call on them, or do they just come to you from time to time and...
I'll call on them sometimes, but it's not like I ask them for guidance or, you know, it's not like I call on them. I just sense and know that they're with me all the time.
Okay.
So it's not a thing that I have to call to get them to come.
They know their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
And you know, and I was having a rare reading in a metaphysical bookstore in Bradenton, Florida. And this guy didn't know me or my wife from anybody else. We were just driving through town. And he said, "Did you know you have two beings with you?" And I knew that, but I never gave him any heads up on that. So I wasn't a bit surprised to hear that.
Could you, I suppose people probably call them guardian angels for another name. I
Yeah.
suppose it could be. I just finished a book on the physics of angels, which I thought was pretty amazing. It kind of helped me get a better understanding of what these things are. They're not like the things with wings and the things that we, you know, associate with popular culture.
Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, they're symbolic, but that's really it, and they're actually much more powerful than, you know, little cherubim that are, you know, floating around and blah blah blah. What? So you said you felt the etheric beings more strongly at Luxor, at the various places in Egypt.
Yes, in Egypt in general.
Okay.
And I had felt them also at Machu Picchu in Peru.
Okay.
And I had a whole different kind of energetic feeling on the plains of the Serengeti in Kenya.
Okay.
So, but each one is very profound and unique. Sometimes it felt like a more feminine energy, sometimes a more masculine, cutting edge energy. And yeah, that's been my experience of that.
Okay. When's the last time you visited Egypt, if you don't mind me asking? Has that been a while?
7, 8 years now.
Okay.
I did 7 trips there and doing some serious, intense spiritual work.
Are you there for a while?
A couple of weeks each
A couple of weeks at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, back up.
Yeah.
Intense spiritual work. So there's another question. Well, what do you do? Do you
Yeah.
study? Do you sing? Do you chant? Do you pray?
I'd say-
You know, what are you doing for intense?
All of the above, but the real intense part of it is learning to master the ego. And that requires learning how to identify all the nuances of your ego so you don't continually get tripped up in different ways. So the main teaching for myself was to master my ego, and it's a continuous game even now. But that was the discipline part of it. There was other things of chanting and singing that were extraordinary and feeling energies that were wonderful, but all that being said, it was the most intense years of my life and disciplined years of my life. And also I had the most fun and laughter in those trips as well. So I write in my book, you know, and I say it over and over again, you know, try to laugh at yourself. Try to laugh while you're doing this work, because it can be so intense that the laughter will balance it and help to pull you forward to do more.